Hello, I'm Hannah Durden and you're listening to the Outdoors Group podcast. This podcast is a call to arms to get children and young people outside again. Whether you're an educator, parent, carer or just an interested party, this podcast is for you. Each week I'll be talking to a different guest about different aspects of the outdoors, from forest school provision to the importance of play, from specialist provision for young people with additional needs to empowering the next generation of environmental protectors. I'm on tour today and this recording is taking place at the absolutely beautiful Orchard Forest School, which is based on the Lupton Estate in Brixham, which is in South Devon, for those of you listening from further afield. I'm joined by the woman behind Orchard Forest School, Louise, who has kindly spared some time to talk to us about doing her forest school leader training with the Outdoors Group and the creation and evolution of her site here in Brixham. Thanks for joining me today, Louise.
That's okay.
I'd love to start by asking about your journey to forest school and your background. How did you kind of find yourself here?
My background is a nursery nurse, and then I went into family support and worked in children's services in Torbay social care. And doing that sort of support, you recognise that children aren't getting out and about in the outdoors. So, and I was part of the pilot scheme in Torbay Council with the childminders actually to do forest school level 1. And then from then I took families out to local woods and different things within my family support role, and soon realised that working in schools as well, that there's very limited forest schools in this particular area that are open to the public.
Yeah, I can't think of any others in Torbay at all.
No, we've got there is another one in Torquay that the lady takes families out into the woods, but they actually hasn't got a base as such. And then the next one would be Dartington. So there's a bit of a niche, a bit of a gap here. I mean, I was part of piloting it, like I said, back in 2009 and getting it into the schools and the nurseries with Torbay Council, but then the families can't access them. You know, it's all right for
it's
the
just
children.
The kids only,
the kids at school. So from that, I was working for South West Family Values and approached them and said, you know, we need to see if we can, if I can, you know, do my level 3, so that I can expand a bit more, and do fire and things like that and tool use and whatever. And they thankfully backed me and agreed and funded my course, which I did with the Outdoors Group. In the Exmouth site, and that's the beginning of the story. Really.
So the level 1, what you were saying, what kind of are you allowed to do once you've got just level 1? Just curiosity, really.
It was more of an assistant role. You can't do fire.
No,
you're not insured,
and
not tools. So it's basically learning the basics of leaf identification,
or craft in the outdoors,
in the outdoors using nature. So it's given you a little bit of
start.
Absolutely, a bit of understanding of what you can and the possibilities you can do.
Obviously, you got the bug to want to do
I
a bit more.
I used that for quite a few years, and you know it's fine. But then I got to the stage where I wanted to have a fire. We know it's very nurturing around a fire. And of course the tool use, you know, get kids to do some whittling and different things.
Which they love, don't they?
In
fact, my 7-year-old has been obsessed with whittling this week. He's been outside every day covering my garden in wood shavings.
Once they start.
They don't stop. No. Exactly. Look what I've managed to do today. I've done zigzags on it. Okay, awesome. Are you going to do anything about the wood that's everywhere? No. You've mentioned your forest school leader training with us. Can you tell us a bit more about that experience, how you found the time in the woods and the people on your course? And
it was amazing. It was like a light bulb moment, actually. I went for a week at the Exmouth site, and we did practical. It was with Tom.
So this was pre-COVID, 2018 or 17?
18 it would have been. October, so not the ideal time of year, but we had a really good week. Really, really good week. And it just opened my eyes up of the opportunity and the possibilities that you can do. I met one of my best friends there on the actual training. I know, it was Liz. She's amazing. Hi, Liz.
Shout out to Liz.
Yeah, absolutely, Liz Bull. she's helped me, she's supported me with this throughout. She's actually doing a birthday party for me here on Saturday. So
nice.
we've remained really, really good friends. But the actual training itself was fantastic. It was very practical all week. It was a really good group of people, mixed abilities, mixed genders, different jobs, and we got on really well. It was really good.
Was it what you expected when you got there?
It was more than what I expected.
Okay.
I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
But it was certainly, the nice thing was it was very laid back.
Yeah.
Very relaxed, and you wanted to go back every day. And I had a good 45-minute journey there each day. There and
then back in the evening,
again. So it was a long day, but it was really worth it.
Yeah.
It was a really good time. Really, really good time. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I was going to say, when I did mine, it felt like a little kind of family for a week.
Yeah, it did.
You kind of really bonded in a way that you're not expecting to.
I know. I didn't go to university. Any training I've done, it's been online, an open university. But you always hear about people going to university and then bonding for life and having, like you say, a little family, and that's exactly what it felt like.
For you.
Yeah, definitely. And it was unfortunate that COVID happened, but we were all very much in touch, the whole group, through WhatsApp, and we were planning to meet up and whatnot, and then of course COVID happened and everyone went their separate ways. And
you'll have to have a reunion at some point.
Yeah, that would be good.
You could host it here.
Yes. Yeah, that would be good.
And obviously that's the practical side, but obviously there was some coursework. How did you find that? Because I know that
there is a lot of coursework.
Fitting it into a kind of an adult life with the responsibilities.
I was working full time. Two teenage kids, so they didn't need much of my time. But running a house, you've got to be committed.
Yeah.
But you learn so much, and I think some people underestimate it. What you do need to learn.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's a bit of theory, the theorists and people like that, and you've got to do lots of research.
Yes,
but it's doable.
Yeah.
And it's just about being strict with your time. I made sure I had every Saturday morning doing it at home. So, and I did it within 6 months.
That's really impressive.
But that's how my brain works.
Okay.
I have to, when I'm given a task, everyone who knows me, if I'm given a task, I have to do it.
Yeah.
So I managed to do it, and that was that. But it's all doable.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
And the good thing is it's all online, and everything that the outdoor group, give you online. You don't need to go out looking for anything else. It's all there. Yeah. And you can buy a few books if you want, which I did, but then I've got them for my practice now, which I always refer to. Yeah.
That's good. So once you'd kind of done it, I'm still impressed with your 6 months of coursework. It took me about 2 years. So once you'd done it and you already had quite a lot of experience of working with kids, and I'm assuming obviously you must have loved the outdoors to want to do it.
Yes,
How did you find yourself in this particular spot on the outskirts of Brixham?
Well, I was still working as a family support worker for South West Family Values, and when I came back from my week's training, I said to them, this is crazy now. There is a need. We've got to up our game. And is it possible that we could start somewhere? And they put their faith in me. They were very, very good, very trusting. And they said, well, if you can find somewhere, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'm a Brixham girl, so I know Lupton.
Yeah.
So I approached Lupton, Janet, who runs Lupton, and she said no to start with. And then she asked me what, my thinking was and a bit of a business plan. And she said she was prepared to give it a go. And I basically said to her, I can manage the orchard for you. We've got
exchange.
We've got 4 acres here. I can manage it for you, and then in return, can we use it to support families? And so we tried it out, and 3.5 years later, we're still here.
We're still here, yeah.
And now Janet and I and Dave, he was my previous manager at South West Family Values. We're now directors of Orchard Forest School. We took it on last year.
Which is amazing to have taken it on in the midst of COVID as well.
I know, a bit crazy. We were very fortunate. We were involved in a big bid in Torbay Council, the Imagine This.
Okay.
And this was under South West Family Values. So we was very, very fortunate that bid came in at the right time, just before or right at the start of COVID, but it wasn't linked to COVID. So we managed to carry on, and the fund that we was awarded, it took us through. So we were very lucky. Very, very lucky.
But obviously, you hadn't been working so hard.
But and we managed
what
to.
Here is absolutely beautiful. And I wish people could see it.
Well, they're more than welcome to. But we were very lucky with that. But it's our wonderful families that come weekly. We've got a really good following now. We've built that up over 3 years. And it is all about that personal touch. We get to know the families and the kids, and we see them. A lot of mums have their, the younger ones start, and then they get pregnant, and the next ones come through, and it's like a bit of a family thing. And we work very intergenerational, so we have all the grandparents as well that's come.
Really nice.
So it's really nice.
Well, that kind of leads me on, because I was going to ask, obviously I know that you do toddler sessions, but if you could tell us a bit more about the other kind of things that you're doing here, and all the different kind of streams that you've got going on.
We've got we run throughout the whole year, like Forest School provisions do. We run weekly family and toddler groups, Mini Explorers. We also do home ed sessions every couple of weeks in the summer, and then we go back to monthly in the winter for them. We do evening sessions sometimes. We have brownies here. We, right from the start, young carers have supported us. And I know we support them, but they've supported us right from day one. They've believed in us, they've come. We've given them sessions. And now they're an active part of
So those are people that are caring for their parents or...
up to 18-year-olds. So any, kids that are registered young carers in Torbay, we offer them sessions with their sometimes they come with their families, sometimes they come on their own with their key workers.
That's amazing.
It just gives them that time out, that they don't have to be the parent. They can come and play. And there's been some incredible examples of what they get out of it. It's great to have them here. But we also run sessions for our over 50s.
I was about to say other end of the spectrum as well.
We go all the way through. So I think our eldest is late 70s. But there's no limit.
No.
But they come on Wednesdays, and Sue runs that group, and they come have some soup with them.
So I was just about to say, what does Forest School for over 50s look like?
Wow, it's amazing. So the idea is they come and help us.
Okay.
So it's free labour, really.
Yes.
But we've been fortunate with that. We've got some funding from Torbay Council from the Connecting Actively for Nature funding pot. So they've given us the funds to run sessions, I think for 2 years now. On Wednesdays we do. If you're over 50, that's it, all you need to do. You just, come along, and they come and help. They come and help manage the land. Some of them come for their own mental health and well-being. So they've suffered with depression or anxiety, particularly now with isolation and, after COVID and that. So they come and meet new friends. So some just come and sit around the fire and have a chat, have a hot chocolate or whatever, and have a bowl of soup. And others are more active, and they'll help cut all the grass for us. One of the chaps we've had with us for some time now, a couple of years, he was under the doctor for depression, on medication. Within about 3 months he was off medication, he was away from the doctors.
That's amazing.
And now he comes, and he is our groundskeeper, so he is in charge of our new ride-on lawnmower. So he comes every couple of weeks and does all the cutting of the grass on the ride-on lawnmower, which is incredible. And he said
it's the most grass I've ever seen at a
I know, we're pretty lucky. I mean, obviously when we started we didn't have much wood chipped down, but all the over 50s have laid all this for us, so especially in the...
And they were able to keep coming during COVID on a smaller basis?
Very small, To start with, obviously, with the unknown, we closed, completely closed. I came
as
up,
everyone did,
as everyone did. I came up and managed the land, and for security-wise, a couple of times a week. And then gradually, as we got used to it and realised, OK, we can manage this, it was a lifesaver for some of our over 50s.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We were fine. You know, we were doing the car park at the top. We were developing that because that was all woodland before we took this on. So we managed to carry on once, twice a week. And they said it was a lifeline, you know. And they'd bring their own snacks and drinks. And, you know, we abided by all the laws and regulations and we managed it. And, it got them through it and it got me through it, you know.
What an amazing kind of thing to do for the community.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
very proud
community
of
is clearly a massive driver for you because, I mean, you mentioned your Kickstarter...
so
young people. I almost said kids, which would be very insulting because they're definitely not.
I know, because they're in their 20s, some of them. The Kickstart, they're incredible.
Could you explain that scheme for people that might not know what it is?
So the schemes, I'm unsure when it started, but certainly last year the government decided to, rather than young people being out of work and getting their benefits and remaining at home, it was an opportunity to give them life experiences and job experiences to try different jobs out if they wanted to. So basically, government pay us for having the young people. They give us a small amount, but it's, you know, that all helps. And then they pay their wages to work 25 hours a week for us in whatever line of work you do. So for us, we have them here. We have our wonderful Ellie and Ash, Ash is now an employee of us.
Exciting.
We've taken her on, and Ellie will be taken on when she finishes her Kickstart, which will be August. And both girls didn't know that this is what they wanted to do. They came along to try it, and it was an opportunity.
And they fall in love.
They fall in love, and now we're putting them through their level 2 qualifications.
I was going to say, do they help with sessions as well as looking after the grounds?
Oh, they're all for the sessions. So from the minute people arrive, before that, they arrive, 8:30 in the morning. They're here, they set up, they risk assess the land. I'm getting them to start helping me light the fire. They're doing everything that I do. They're more than capable now, supervised by me. But when we have the activities, they lead on the activities now. And then obviously, as you've seen today, we've finished the session, so now they're cleaning the compost.
Oh, bless them.
But they're planting, they're doing all the land management now, and they're thriving. They're really, really good girls, really, and they're natural leaders themselves. And then we've got 2 lads with us at the moment, and they wanted to be just for land management. So they're painting the cabin at the moment. So again, they collect water for us, help with the land management. So it's been a real success
it's amazing
story.
I absolutely love that. And when I spoke to you last, you were telling me as well about how you had like a foraging thing with the local dietitian. Like you seem to be really good at finding grants to run lots of things, which is great because especially at the moment people don't have lots of spare money.
No, I'm very fortunate. I think because I've been in Torbay Council and in Torbay for a number of years, I've built up a lot of good relationships with other professionals. So the dietitian Anna, who is founder of Nourishing Families, she's a dietitian in Totnes, and we used to work together. We used to run family sessions, cooking sessions together within schools in Torbay. And then when I took this on, she said that she'd had a pot of funding and wanted to, rather than just, she runs courses for families, and rather than do a celebration for them in a church hall or whatever, she said, how about let's cook over the fire and make it a bit special. So we've done 2 of those recently in the evenings, and it's been a real success. So it was fully funded, and families have come. One week we were looking at foraging for stinging nettles, and wild garlic. We've got an abundance of
Making
wild
some
garlic.
soup.
Made some soup. We made some damper breads and
nice.
Some garlic butter. We had potatoes cooked over the fire. And some salsa. So used the land. It was really interesting because everything, forest school for me is very much about play and engaging with nature and, helping with, the land.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to be able to use the orchard slightly differently and forage and, cook with it.
Yeah.
Because although we do a lot of cooking in our groups, it's normally things that we've
brought in.
And we brought in. So it was really good to try something different, and it was really well received.
I was about to say, now all those families, when they're out and about,
Yes.
might go, oh, well, I know that I can identify this safely.
Absolutely. And that's the key, isn't it? Is you're always helping and supporting, and you're giving them life lessons as well.
Yeah.
And, today our group, this whole week, we've been making elderflower cordial.
I spotted on the way in that all your elders were in bloom, because last time I came it was garlic central.
Yes, garlic. Now we're into elderflower.
I love marking the seasons. Now it's elderflower time, then it'll be blackberries.
Blackberries and elderberries. And then we go in, obviously we're in apple orchards, so then we go into apples. So
are the apples, do they kind of all ripen at different times?
Predominantly they ripen from the end of September through to November. So that's our apple
good couple
season.
Of months of apples.
And they're predominantly cider apples.
Okay.
But we have as they go through the harvest, the season, they get sweeter.
Yeah.
So right at the start, you wouldn't eat them. They're very flowery and very, you wouldn't. Although some kids do like them.
Some kids will.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. But as the months go, they get sweeter. So then they do.
Do any get harvested by an external business, or do you guys have them all?
We all do them. We would never have.
No.
We'd never have.
Do you make cider then sometimes?
No. We have, so we harvest,
and
then we have Simon, who is the co-founder, he's the founder of Yard Cider in Cockington. When I first started, he was very actively involved in our harvest and taught me everything how to
do it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's moved on to more like wines and that now. But we have another guy in Shippey in Torquay. He comes over, Kevin, and he's won awards with our apples.
Cool.
Yeah, so in like the Devon County Show and things like that.
That's amazing.
So he's a one-man band, just doing it out of his garage and whatever. And he's been really thrilled with the apples. Yeah. So we tend to we let them, they have. If they want some, they can buy them, and then the money goes straight back into the orchard. Yeah. So the first year we did the car park with the money. But last year we did the Big Bay Bake, whereas we invited the community.
Big Bay Bake,
Big Bay Bake. That's a mouthful. Where we invited the community to come in and harvest. They paid, a couple of quid to bring a bag. They harvest. We showed them how to harvest a tree. Sent really kindly to the trees and traditionally and they collected the apples, and the idea was that they went away and cooked the apples and then they gave them to somebody in need. So especially through COVID, so like neighbours or someone who needed cheering up.
Apple
and that
pie
was absolutely and that was really successful. So we'll be doing that again this year.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, I was just about to say, now I want to find out about how to harvest apple trees sensitively, so I obviously need to come back in the autumn.
Yes, absolutely. Come along.
So, I mean, I've always told the kids, twist if it comes off
gently.
That
absolutely.
means it's ready.
Yeah, absolutely. But basically, I mean, we shake. So if you've got a company in with machinery, they would absolutely, and they've said this to me, they've been very good, and they said, they'd trash the land, they come in with machinery. Yeah. They'd absolutely wreck the trees because it's
really
all mechanical.
Sad, isn't it? You think, well, what are they going to do the next year if they've just ruined all the trees?
Absolutely. And I've seen a programme on it, and they do the trees are shaken really badly. And these are all ancient trees here. So we do it very gently with, just a stick and just shake a little branch at a time. And if they fall off, that's ready. Great, they're ready. But exactly what you said, if they're ripe and they're ready, you cup them and then just twist them. And if they fall off from your hand and they're ready.
It's ready for you,
Yeah, that's it. But we have planted, with the Queen's Jubilee, we've planted 7 eating apple trees
cool.
as well. All the children have. They've
Yeah.
planted them. So hopefully over the next couple of years, then they'll have a chance to actually pick them.
Pick some of those as
Yeah,
well. Oh,
yeah.
that's
And we've got a
exciting.
plum tree, we've got a pear tree and a cherry tree as well.
Do you get many of
So-
the cherries? Because my friend's got a couple in her garden and the birds get them
No,
every year.
we haven't had any cherries.
Every year she says,
Unless-
my cherries are
yeah.
almost ripe, and then we go out one
I know.
morning and they've been picked
Yeah,
clean.
and the plums, if we can get in there before the wasps, it's good. We get quite a few.
Yeah.
Pears, we've had one pear, and it was like the size of your thumb. So I don't know what we're doing wrong with that one, but it's not a. It doesn't really give us anything.
No, this looks
but
nice.
it's nice.
Yeah. One
That's
year
right.
it'll surprise
Yeah,
you.
that's right. Absolutely.
You've just mentioned like quite a few different really exciting things. What do you have a favourite event or session that you've done over the last few years? Is there one that really sticks out in your memory?
It's really hard to say because we've done
asking
so
to pick your favourite
many.
child.
Yeah, and do you know, I just love. I can tell. I don't think there's one singular session.
No.
But I love the fact that we are a community. It's about the community. My personal family have been heavily involved from day one, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know, they come weekly. My husband has built, you know, he's a builder.
For anyone listening, there's an incredible shelter behind us that Louise just gestured at. We're only not under it because it's such a nice day.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's, you know,
Yeah.
he has been a tower of strength. You know, something there's needs doing and I can't do
Yeah.
here. And my dad and my mum comes every week. She's in her
Aw.
70s and she supports me.
Yeah.
But I've digressed. Sorry, but
No, that's all right. Well, it's
but
nice
yeah,
to give
I
a
was
shout
just-
out to them
yeah,
as well.
and it's a community.
Yeah.
It's a whole community, and that's what I was going to say is that all our sessions we do, it's the whole family
Yeah.
welcome. So it's really intergenerational, and that's what I think is really special
Yeah.
about what we do here. Is everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't pick one.
No.
Couldn't. There's too many.
No,
There's too
it's
many.
so clear how important the community is to you, and it feels like
Yeah.
you've created a really special space for it.
But you get what you get. You know, you get what they give.
Yeah.
Or you get back what you give out,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
And they're amazing. This is a team. It's about
Yeah,
a team.
a team, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just mentioned the kind of intergenerational stuff, and I know that you've been featured in, is it a Scottish government paper?
It's a charity paper. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about what you were in that for?
Yeah, so Lorraine George, she now works for the charity, and she basically was the development worker in Torbay Council for the childminders. So we have
Okay.
childminders here as well.
Yeah.
And she's moved on to the charity. It's intergenerational working.
Okay.
So it's all about getting intergenerational out there.
Yeah.
So the benefits. So you might have seen.
What's the name of the charity? You're not sure. Don't
I
worry.
can't remember.
We'll put it in the show notes for anyone.
Yes.
'Cause I've got the paper, so I can put it in the
Thank
show
you.
notes for people that want to know.
My mind's gone
No,
blank.
that's fine.
And she's only just moved across to them.
Yeah.
So that's my excuse.
Yeah.
But anyway, she. So all the way along, we've talked about doing intergenerational. She went out to America and saw how younger, early years children benefit from being in old people's homes or
Yeah.
elderly people's homes, and has brought that back to Torbay. And she's done loads of research. She's been to Parliament and spoken about it. So she's supported us all the way through with any projects that we, can do for it. And we did a project last year with her support, where we had our over 50s group and the registered childminders in Torbay.
Yeah.
They came together each week, and the friendships and relationships that were built between
Yeah.
the younger children and the older over 50s, especially after COVID,
Yeah.
and the little ones missing their grandparents and the grandparents missing their
Yeah.
little children. So she wanted to basically write about that project, which she has done, and it's now in one of the papers that she's written, which is really exciting.
As an example of kind of it working well and how to do it.
Hugely. I mean, you know, my parents were involved, and they were off one week. They were on a little holiday in England, a breakaway, and one of the children, you know, missed them so much they actually rang them up while they were on the bus.
Oh my goodness, that's so sweet.
With us, because they missed them. You know, and it was about learning and sharing skills and stories, and the older people, you know, linking to their early childhood experiences, and the little ones listening and learning things from the older ones.
And I hadn't thought about that as well, the element that if the older people had grandkids that don't live nearby.
I mean, you know, we all know that COVID has been horrendous for a lot of people, and the isolation factor has been, you know, and that's what we found, as well as all the impact it's had on speech and language and everything else. But certainly for our over 50s who couldn't get out, the family couldn't come and visit, they were really isolated, and then you've got the fear and the anxiety of what happens if they do go out, and will they get it, and what does that mean to them, you know. So bringing them all together, and you know, and we were still in COVID times, and we were all wearing masks, you know. So we did it safely, but the learning and the opportunities that it brought to both the older people and the, you know, the early years children was incredible.
That's so special.
Yeah, it was a very special project, and we do it now every once a month with the childminders and our over 50s. We do it here so that they can all engage and see each other if they want to.
So if anyone wanted to get involved with that, they could just contact you.
Email me, Orchard Forest School. I don't know if you'll put that on somewhere.
We'll put it on your
send me an email.
We've
got Facebook and that, so we're always looking for over 50s to help us on Wednesdays in term time, and any volunteers who want to help. You know, you don't have to be over 50.
It's so exciting.
Thank you.
Before we kind of finish up, I guess my last question about the Forest School is, where do you kind of see yourself going next? Is there anything on the horizon that you're really excited about?
Getting a new hip. No, I'm only joking.
You mentioned you're across the road land earlier, so
that
sounds quite exciting.
So we've got another orchard across the road, just across the lane. So what we're doing at the moment, we were very lucky that the National Lottery has given us some funding to develop that into a Jubilee garden, sensory garden for the community. So at the moment, this time of year isn't ideal because obviously
you don't want to be planting too much right now, do you?
No, and everything's growing up. So at the moment we are just managing it. You know, an orchard, it's very it's very green, grass everywhere, brambles everywhere, and it's, as you see, it's about a balance in supporting the wildlife and the ecosystem, but keeping it safe for, you know, all our customers and the community. So at the moment we're just keeping it cut back, but we will be having a compost toilet over there, and we'll have seating over there, and lots of sensory flowers and plants. And we will be planting 7 more trees over there as well at the end of the year.
More fruit trees?
Apple trees, edible apple trees. And all the trees that we buy are from Dartington.
Oh, awesome.
So, and they're all local varieties.
So
brilliant. It's about supporting those guys as well. So
and native kind of trees, so
that
absolutely. It suits the ground that we're at.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing that you're probably most excited about, the development.
Probably getting to the end of it. Finishing it.
We have a grand opening party.
Yes, we will be having an opening. I don't know what year, but no, we've got to complete it in a year. No, let's not date it, but we have to complete it by next June.
Okay.
So, which is fine. It's absolutely doable. And it's just about managing it, and we've got 2 amazing volunteers who come twice a week. Mandy and Adam, and they're over there now, and I literally say hello, give them a drink, and off they go. And they're just stars. They get on with it. They volunteer for Coast and Countryside Trust as well, so they know their stuff. And it's really good. Dave, who's one of the directors, he's off at the moment, but he will be he's started it, so he'll lead on it when he comes back. So it's another beautiful space, inspiring space that will be used more for adults rather than children. This side's more about play and families, and the other should be more about the calmness and just a place to go and be.
Mindfulness.
A bit of mindfulness, go and be, place to reflect and sit and just have some time.
We'll find you there having
I
a
will
nap,
be there.
maybe.
I might take a hammock over.
Yes, that's what I was just thinking. A hammock sounds perfect over there.
We'll put the hammocks out there and that's where I'll be.
Yes.
Doing my office work.
Will the Wi-Fi stretch that far?
I don't know.
Yeah, honestly.
Of course it does.
Oh dear. Thank you so much for your time today, and let me come back to your gorgeous little slice of heaven. It's just so calm here. I've just been finishing each episode by asking all my guests a couple of questions, so I'll just steal a few more minutes of your time. And my first one is, I'm going to say, how do you relax? And I am aware of how busy you are, but I'm hoping that you might be able to steal a few minutes of relaxation every now and then.
I'm actually, we have a camper, my husband and I, Martin, we have a camper. So we tend to just get in it and go off.
Oh, lovely.
When I'm not working
here. You got any favourite spots locally?
Yes, we've got a lovely spot, but I'm not going to advertise
don't tell me all
it.
Of it. No, that is absolutely fine.
But it's
As I asked, I thought, oh no, don't tell me.
It's overlooking the sea. It's literally a field.
Oh, lovely.
And it's overlooking the sea, and it's not too far away from Salcombe.
Oh, nice.
And it's just
stunning.
Absolutely a place just to go and chill out.
So
that's
switch
what
off.
I do.
That's your way to relax.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, why is being outdoors important to you?
I think for me it's, look, today.
Yes.
It's bright sunshine. It's good for my health and mental well-being. And actually, being out here, coming from children's services where it was very much safeguarding, child protection.
Yeah.
Coming here, it's changed my, me.
Yeah.
And my well-being. I'm more relaxed. It's obviously great with all the vitamin D I get. And it's just lovely, isn't it? Why wouldn't you?
No, why wouldn't you? Exactly. Oh, well, thank you so much, Louise, for your time again today. And I'm hoping that I'll see you again soon, maybe with my kids in tow.
Yes, come along.
Yes,
definitely.
I'd love to. Brilliant.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you again to Louise for joining us from what you heard was a very busy schedule to tell us all about what she's doing down in South Devon. If you're interested in finding out more about Orchard Forest School, or if you'd like to read the paper that we talked about in which they were featured for their intergenerational work, you can find links to those things in our show notes. And if you want to know more about our Forest School Leader Training, which Louise talked about briefly, you can head over to our website, which is just outdoorsgroup.co.uk, and have a look at that there. Thanks again for listening, and join me again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. Thanks very much.